In this short video, I'm going to show you the quickest and easiest way to set up AutoGPT on your computer so you can have an AI working for you 24/7, which is pretty awesome. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to open up Terminal. And Terminal is where we're going to install all this. If this is intimidating to you, don't worry. I'm a regular dude as well. And I did not know how to code prior to this. I did not go to school for this type of stuff. So I'm just going to make this tutorial as easy as possible. And just remember that you can do anything, and these are just words on a screen, and it's just an ugly screen. And yes, now I know how to code, but I didn't know before, and I promise you I'm just like a regular dude that did not do well in school. So let's just follow along here. I'm gonna make this as easy as possible, and it's really not that hard. And with ChatGPT and things these days, you can actually have it code for you. So it's like the best time in the world to start getting a little bit functional in coding. You don't have to be a genius, because watch this. I could say, hey, build me a Python trading bot with CCXT that buys Bitcoin over the 20 SMA. I can say something like this, and ChatGPT will go ahead and build it for me. So we're in the day and age that knowing a little tiny bit of code can get you a long way. We'll watch this work while I go ahead and show you exactly how to get AutoGPT installed and running on your computer. The first thing you want to do is download Anaconda, which is pretty much, if you know how to code, you know what it is, and you might already have it, but it allows you to make virtual environments. And a virtual environment is like a bucket on your computer. It's like a folder that can keep everything separated. So AutoGPT is an AI, right? So if the AI takes over your computer, well, the AI will just take over this folder instead. So it's safe. It's a lot safer to do it this way. Just click download for Mac or Windows, install it. And once you're installed, move on to the next part. And the next part is we want to go ahead and make a virtual environment. So how do we do that? Well, here we would say conda in your terminal, conda create, and then we would say -- name, and then we'd put the name we want. So whatever the name we want, let's just call this auto-gpt, or whatever you want to call it. And then I'm going to say Python equals 3.10, and then I'm going to hit enter. Again, if this looks foreign to you, I'm sorry, but it is what it is, and you will get better at this. I know it's like a dark screen, and I was very intimidated by anything coding when I first got started. It'll say proceed, say yes. It's going to install a bunch of stuff, and this is just so you can have Anaconda set up. And then we want to, you can see here, it actually gives us all the instructions. It's just hard to read because it's all dark and stuff. But I'm going to say conda activate AutoGPT. It just says to activate this environment. So we activate it. Okay, now we're in this environment. So we're in this folder, right? And we can go ahead and now download the AutoGPT. So one good way to do this is just Google, or I'm going to try to put the link below, but I might forget. So Google AutoGPT GitHub. And then we're looking for this one, significant gravitas. I hope that's not a word we know, because I just butchered it. But this should lead us to this one. Clone this repo into the directory of AutoGPT. This one actually doesn't look like the exact one. So let's see. Okay, here we go. I've got the exact one we need now. And AutoGPT. So I'm just going to put the link below. And sorry. You can go from the link that I got to, you can go back to his profile, and you can see I was on the AutoGPT plugins, but you just want the AutoGPT. And you can see here, we have all of the code, and all you have to do is grab this link right here. It says code, and grab the copy, click the copy of this long GitHub link. And then you want to say in your terminal, you want to say git clone, git space clone, and then paste in that link. And then it's going to pretty much take all of this code and put it into that folder, the virtual environment you created. And it's done. So now we want to click ls, and you can see that I have AutoGPT installed under applications. So the next thing I want to do is scroll down here, and we should have to pip install the requirements. So these are pretty much some things that need to be installed in order to keep going. So essentially all code has different stuff that we need to, that it's dependent on. And you can see the next step here is type in cd auto and make sure to capitalize it, AutoGPT, just like this. We're pretty much saying, hey, change directory. I want to jump in to that file. And now if I hit ls, you can see there's a bunch of other files. And the next thing we'll do is we'll say pip install -r, and then requirements. And it's super important to spell requirements and everything right. That's one thing about coding, is it just does what you tell it. So if you do the wrong thing, then you do the wrong thing. So this will install all the stuff we need to do. And once we're here, we can go ahead and pretty much use it. But there's a couple things we want to do before that. We have to input our Open API key. So I'm going to go ahead and go to Open API login and make sure to set up an Open API account, and then you can get a key. Now I'll get my key here. I'm going to just make a test key because I'll have to delete it and then copy it. So just go to Open AI login, and I'll just type it in Open AI login, and not chat GPT, Open AI API, login API. Here we go, Open AI API key, and then just log in or sign up and get the API key. There should be a thing, look on the right of my screen right now. You can see API keys after you log in. So you'll get all that information. I just can't show you my API key, unfortunately. So now everything's installed here. We want to go ahead and edit that API key. So the first thing we need to do, I'm going to paste my API key here on a notepad. And now we have everything installed. We're going to click, I'm using a Mac, so this might be different for you, but I just want to type in ls again. And you can see we have a bunch of stuff, but I'm actually missing something that I need. I'm looking for a .env file. I don't know if you can see this on a Windows, but on a Mac, I have to do ls-a. And then here's the .env file. Where is it? Oh, here it is, .env.template. So the next thing I have to do is I need to copy that file and change it. I need to put my key in that file. Now, if I'm going too fast for you, I apologize. Just rewind this video. I just want to remind you, anybody can do this. This is not like, to be a coder, you just have to be able to read English. So if you can read English, you got this. And we're not even really coding right now. So just keep following along. I know it's a little intimidating sometimes. So what we want to do is we want to type in CP, which stands for copy. And then we're going to click .env, or you can just find the file and copy it too. So it was the one that starts with .env. I just lost it. Oh, here it is, .env.template. cp.env.template, and then hit enter. And then we want to go ahead and open that template. So all you do is you type in open space -e space .env. Oh, and it looks like I had an error somewhere. I'm gonna run this one again. I think I spelled something wrong. Oh, I didn't put the last part. So let's go back. Go back to CP. So copy.env. Sorry about that. Let's make this a little bigger so it's a little easier to see. Env, cp.env dot template. And then we want to name the new one .env. Okay, so we copied it. And now we want to open that up. So we say open dash e.env. Okay, so now we have this file here that's open, and you can see there's a few things we want to change here. First, you want to put your OpenAI key. So you see these hash marks. That means this doesn't exist, like it's not actual code. But you can see this one doesn't have a hash mark in front of it. It says OpenAI key, API key, OpenAI API key. Paste it in there. Sorry, that was the wrong thing to paste. I'm going to grab my API key, and you'll be able to see it, but I'll delete it. Paste it in there, just like that, and you're good to go. So there's a couple other things. Now, first off, I'm going to show you how to do this. Firstly, without any other steps, because there's another step you can take for having local memory, using local memory versus using a cloud memory. But I found there was a wait list. So let's go ahead and see here. You can see by default, it uses our local memory. And I don't want to confuse you with anything here, but we can also use Pinecone. Go ahead and set up a Pinecone account. So Pinecone, type in Pinecone GPT maybe, and you can see Pinecone. Set up an account on Pinecone, and there's a wait list. So just sign up for it, and it took me about a week to get it. And once you get it, you can get an API key there. And let me just see if I can show you real quick. Now, I'm gonna just show you how to do this really quickly and come back to this video once you get accepted, but you don't need it to get started. So today, you don't have to have it, but I'll show you this step for when you do get accepted. Okay, so all you have to do is log in, and then once you log in and sign up, you can get a API key. And that API key is going to have a value and then environment. And you'll just put in the value right here. Where is it? It's not the one with the hash. Where'd it go? I just saw it. Oh, it's right here. You just have to unhash mark it. So memory backup, if configured, Pinecone API key. You just put in your Pinecone API key right here, and it's a value. And then right next to it, it shows an environment region. So it's gonna look like something like this. So below it, Pinecone environment would be the region. It'll say like Asia or US or whatever. And then the key will look nice and long, and you'll put it right here. Just like that. And then you'll set the memory here to Pinecone, like this. So that's how you would set up Pinecone to have the backup memory. But I want to show you the regular way, so just ignore everything I just said. If you don't already have a Pinecone account, all we had to do was add in the API key, open API key right up here. Then we click Command Save, or up here and save, whatever you want to do, however you want to save it. And we should be ready to run now. So all we're going to do here is go back here to our terminal, and then we can start running this. And if you've already been accepted for ChatGPT or GPT-4 through OpenAI, it's in beta right now, you can just run Python-m AutoGPT, and that's how you'd run it. Me personally, I have not been accepted yet, so I'm going to use GPT-3 only. So if you've already been accepted, you would input this to start it. What you see now, Python-m AutoGPT. If you have not been accepted, then you would say GPT-3 only, and then we'd run it. And now it's just like getting started. So there's a little bit of a lag here. Okay, and now it says enabled. It says, welcome to AutoGPT. We'll keep you informed of the latest news and features messages here. If you don't wish to receive this message, blah, blah, blah. So you're running on a master branch. This is not a supported branch. Blah, 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 blah. Enter the name of your AI and its role below. So I could say entrepreneur, or entrepreneur AI. And then I could say, it says, for example, an AI, it says describe your AI's role. Build me a trading bot that trades Bitcoin 24/7. And then you give it 5 goals. Find profitable trading strategies, build them into algos, backtest them and find ones with 3+ sharp, find strategies with 100% per year ROI, report back with the top 10, and you're good to go, and you're all set up. So now it's thinking, and it will just go forever. Well, actually not forever. I'll show you the next step. So it thinks, it does one thing, and then asks you if you want it to go again and do the next step. But we'll just go ahead and say, wait for it to say thinking and get through this part. And you can see here, the memory it's using is my local memory. And that's because I didn't set up that part with the Pinecone. But you can see, to start building the trading bot, let's go ahead and read it. I will first need to research profitable trading strategies for Bitcoin. I will then need to build these strategies into algorithms and backtest them to ensure they have a sharp ratio of at least 3. Once I have identified strategies with a high ROI, I can begin building the trading bot. I will need to ensure that the bot is able to trade 24/7 and it is able to make independent decisions without user assistance. I will also need to ensure the bot is simple and does not have any legal complications. So reasoning, so it shows your reasoning, and then it shows your plan, like research profitable trading strategies, build these strategies, identify strategies with high ROI, and it gives some criticism. And then it says, this is my next action. So it says command. It's going to Google, and then it's going to query. So it's going to look up profitable trading strategies for Bitcoin. Then it says Y. Enter Y to authorize them to do the command, or Y dash a number to authorize a bunch of times. So I'll show you one time. I'll click Y, and it goes ahead and look at this. It's amazing. It says Google returned all of this information, all of these titles, all of these links. So it went and just Googled, when is the right time to buy and sell Bitcoin? The top 3 Bitcoin trading strategies. You can just read through this if you want, but now it's consuming all that information, and it is kind of like thinking on it, And then it says, hey, these are my next thoughts. Based on Google searches, I will start by analyzing the Bitcoin trading strategies outlined in the articles. I will then build these strategies into algorithms and backtest them. And then it shows you its next plan. So create a Python file to store the code, analyze the Bitcoin, yada, yada. Pretty amazing, right? And then it says my next action here is I want to execute a Python file and create the file name. So it's starting to code now immediately. And now this is the last thing I really wanted to show you was I could say Y again and it will do one more command, or I could say, hey, let me just say Y and then 25. So this would give it 25 times to run. Now let me warn you that it does cost like maybe 2 cents, or I don't know exactly, you'll have to look it up, but every time you call it, it's 2 cents. So 25 times, you can do the math there. It's like 50 cents. So I would hit Y dash 25 and it will let it run that many times. And it'll just go in a loop. And this is when it gets super powerful. And this is when it's really AutoGPT. That could be 250, it could be 1,000, it could be 2,000, whatever you want, whatever you're comfortable with spending. But that's how you use AutoGPT. It's pretty awesome. The last thing I want to show you is how to quit it so you don't have it run forever. So let's let it run for a little bit. And while it does, I want to remind you I'm having a $500 giveaway at the end of this month. All you have to do is subscribe and let me know below, what are you working on? It could be anything. Just super curious about what everybody's working on, and it's super cool to hear. So let's make this a little smaller. Also, if you want to learn from me how to code, and then also if you want to learn trading algorithms, I teach all of that here in my bootcamp. I make it super inexpensive with a 100% money back guarantee, so you can have full access to it. And there's a link for that below, but I pretty much teach everything I wish I was taught, but nobody was there to teach it. So you can see here, it just downloaded something. It browsed the internet. What is the name of the directory where I want to store the Python? It's pretty cool. It can download stuff. It's going to browse. It browsed another website. It saw there was no text there. It used a data scraper here. So this is pretty amazing. And then it just goes in a loop until it figures out the problem. And the last thing I want to show you here is how to stop it. So I'm going to hit Control C, aborted, boom. Now we're out of it. And you can see we're done. And if I wanted to start back up, I would use the same thing as before. I would say Python -m AutoGPT. And if you have GPT-4, that's all you have to do right now. And then if you don't have access to GPT-4 yet, you can say GPT-3 only. And then it runs back up and it says the news. And then it says, would you like to continue to do what you're doing? And you could say yes if you want to do the same thing, or you could say no, and then it will start over fresh. So that's the full tutorial. I hope this helped. Let me know what you're building below. I hope you build some cool stuff with AutoGPT. And if you need help coding, I'm always here for you. Got a Discord and a boot camp to help you out. And other than that, I hope you have a wonderful day. Talk to you soon.